Greetings, YouTube. I made a video about, of course, the wallet breaker offer today. And then I made a video about the throne breaker offer. And I thought that was probably going to be what I did a video on today. That's it. But as I was getting ready for bed, hence the timing of this dropped video, which is so late that it's past my bedtime, most realistically, though I never fall asleep early. So hashtag Team Insomnia for those of you who share sleep issues and are addicted to working. But Cavalier players, I had 3 specifically message me online. You all know who you are. And you said, Prof, Cavalier players deserve better. Now, here's what's interesting about this. We have a 10% Tier 5 Class Callus Fragment Selector for Paragon players, right? You would think that that would be something in some percentage that would follow the 3 progressions at the top. You would think that Thronebreaker maybe would be a 5% instead of a 10%. And then maybe, like if Uncollected can't really be part of their own thing because, of course, they're the bottom of the food chain, unfortunately, in Africa Bam. Maybe Cavalier would get a 10% Tier 5 Class Callus Fragment Crystal. Or, if they're really lucky, at least a 5% 10% Tier 5 Class Callus Fragment Selector. Why do I say a 5% Tier 5 Class Callus Selector? Because in the Cavalier Sunday Special, which was, today, you get a 5% Tier 5 Class Callus Fragment Selector for $5. So you'd think Kabam would think, you know what? We're already giving it to them in the daily special. Why not do that in the Alpha Catalyst bundle? Well, let's darken the screen, if you'll humor me for a second, and go to one of the summoners that reached out to me, Mr. XX Earth 25, who sent over the following: 2 Tier 2 Alphas, 3 Tier 1 Alphas, 150,000 gold, $10. Now, for Tier 2 Alphas, that's not terrible. But, y'all, I gotta tell you, if you're Cavalier and you're not Thronebreaker, it's because of one of 2 reasons. 1, you haven't completed Act 6, or 2, you haven't taken a 6-star 2 rank 3. If you know that a player needs Tier 5 Class Callus Fragments and you want to make some money, it's not going to break the bank to put a 5% Tier 5 Class Callus Fragment Selector, because you do that once a week on Sundays already. But unfortunately, both the Thronebreaker and Cavalier offers had nothing under the gold. It is so fascinating to see that Cavalier players are really, in so many ways, the new Uncollected. And of course, that makes Uncollected players irrelevant to Kabam. They don't want you to think that about yourselves, but Cavalier is the minimum cutoff for so many things now. And Uncollected players really are getting the shaft. So I like to call it like I see it. You can feel free to disagree with me, but historically, last year, before Wallet Breaker, Uncollected was already getting the shaft. And now that we have another progression in the game, it's just a matter of time. Keep in mind, though, with Act 8, by the time Act 8 ends, there'll be another progression. That's just the nature of a new act. But I hope that that's not the case for at least a year, if not kind of like, what was it, about a year and a half in between Thronebreaker and Wallet Breaker, when Wallet Breaker came in the game. Cavalier players, instead of spending money on an offer like this, spend units, and if you have to, cash, though I do not recommend it, on revives to push to complete Act 6. It's been nerfed as much as it's going to be. It's easier to complete now, even though it's not easy, don't get me wrong. It's easier to complete now than it was even 6 months ago. And on top of that, if you need a 6-star to rank 3, save for bundles that actually give you something toward that, which is why I always tell Cavalier players, just Sundays, just buy the Sunday offer. That's it. Because you get a 5%, and so you get a 20% for $20 if you buy all 4 Sunday offers on average, because of course there are 4 Sundays per month. So there you have it, YouTube. I really do appreciate everybody who reached out to me, including Earth 25. Cavalier players deserve better, but Kabam also wants you to progress out of this They just aren't going to help you with that progression in this specific offer. It's not a terrible price for Tier 2 Alpha, but it is not the reason why people are stuck at Cavalier, and that's an important thing to remember.